Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How's life today? I hope you are stay healthy and keep spirit. And in this opportunity, I would like to explain about the next meeting, which the title is kind of translation methods. But before that, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Umul Faizah, with ID number is 193200173. And the next presenter is Indri Prameswari, with ID number is 193200174. And the next is Devita Lalatunima, with ID number is 193200176. Here we will explain some methods of translation include word for word translation and literal translation, faithful translation, semantic translation, free, idiomatic, communicative translation, and the last one is adaptation. As we know, a translator must have a clear translation method, which is to translate according to what has been planned. And unlikely translation technique, which are the micro levels, but the translation method is the macro level. Okay, and in this case, the translation method according to Newmark, which is grouped into two parts, tends to refer to BSO and refers to BSA. The following is the translation method in the Venn diagram. It is like the picture, and from the picture above, it is known that the four on the left is the emphasis of SL or BSO, and on the right is the emphasis of TL or BSA. Okay. And here I want to tell you about what is the word for word translation. Okay. Word for word translation is SL word order is preferred and the words translate by their most common meanings. Culture words are translated literally. That means use of this method is either to understand the mechanics of the search language or the construe or difficult text as pre-translation process. For example, the number one is there are 3 boys and 3 girls in group A. The Indonesian meanings is ada 3 anak laki-laki dan 3 anak perempuan dalam kelompok A. Here, explanation of example 1, the word order of the short sentence and target sentence is similar. So the word method for words can be applied. Okay. The next example is I know that little girl. That's the Indonesian meaning is saya tahu itu adalah anak perempuan kayak gitu. And explanation of the second example is the correct translation should be I know the girl. In this example, the language structure in the short sentence and the target sentence is not the same. So more of us avoid word translation methods to translate sentence like this. Okay. The next is literal translation. The SL grammatical construction are converted to their nearest TL equivalent, but the lexical item are again translated out of context. As pre-translation process, it indicates problems to be solved. Okay, for example, the first is my house in the right side. In Indonesian meanings is rumahku berada di sisi kanan. Okay. And the next is the girl is sick. Gadis itu sakit. Okay, the two are the example. It is a literal translation. Okay.
Next, faithful translation. So it attempts to reproduce the precise contextual meaning of the original within the constraints of the TL grammatical structures. It transfers cultural words and preserves the degree of grammatical and lexical deviation from SL norms. It attempts to be completely faithful to the intentions and the text realization of the SL writer. So, faithful translation simply means the translator aims to convey the author's intention of the text as faithfully as possible into another language. The first example, Ben is too well aware that he is naughty. It means Ben menyadari terlalu baik bahwa dia nakal. The second example, keep walking. It means terus berjalan. Next is semantic translation. So it differs from faithful translation only in as far as it must take more account of the aesthetic value of the SL text, compromising on 7 meaning where appropriate so that no assonance, wordplay, or repetition jars in the finished version. It does not rely on cultural equivalence and makes very small concessions to the readership, while a faithful translation is dogmatic. Semantic translation is more flexible. So in short, it is about living without translating any expressions or name that belongs to the cultural heritage of the language of origin. The first example, he is a bookworm. So it means dia adalah seorang yang suka sekali membaca. And the second example is she is a shopaholic. It means dia adalah orang yang gemar belanja. Next, free translation. So it reproduces the matter without the manner, or the content without the form of the original. Usually, it is a paraphrase much longer than the original. So that phrase keep the original sense, even though they are all different. It can be said that it is what happens when we paraphrase. So the first example, it's a heavy rain. You have better stay here for a while or you will be soaking wet. It means di luar hujan deras. Lebih baik kamu tinggal dulu beberapa saat atau kamu akan basah kuyup. So, the term heavy rain does not mean heavy rain or hujan berat. So, but is adjusted to the choice of words commonly used in Indonesian, namely heavy rain, hujan deras. Likewise, the term soaking wet is defined as an appropriate choice of words in Indonesian, namely soaking wet. And the second example, the flowers in garden, bunga-bunga yang tumbuh di kebun.
And the next is idiomatic translation. It reproduces the message of the original but tends to insert new case of meaning by preferring colloquialism and idioms where these do not exist in the original. For example, it is a place of cake, yang artinya ini sangat mudah. Kemudian yang selanjutnya yaitu I've already buried my eye, yang berarti saya siap untuk pergi. And the next method is communicative translation. It attempts to reader the exact contextual meaning of the original in such a way the both language and content are readily acceptable and comprehensible to the readership. For example, beware of the dog. Awas, ada anjing. Keep off the grass, yang artinya dilarang menginjak rumput. And the last method is adaptation, which is the first form of translation and is used mainly for plays, comedies, and poetry. The themes, character, plots are usually preserved. The SL culture is converted to the TL culture in the text is rewritten. For example, the rising sun is found not to be rising sun. It is the word which goes around, yang artinya matahari terbit ternyata bukan matahari terbit, dunialah yang sebenarnya mengorbit. I think that's all from our group presentation, and if we have some mistakes, we are really doing apologize for it, and thank you for paying attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.